have to introduce Belgium Kim, our social media guru, the lady with all the questions but no answers. Where is she? Where is she? Hello. Lots of questions and no answers. All right. You like that, huh? All right. What do we got on Facebook? By the way, we don't, obviously have any pre-production meetings. We just come on and do a show.
Nope.
Okay. If anybody, by the way, besides asking the questions, because since now I'm kind of like flying solo till we, find, the next person to co-host with me, whatever. Why are you dancing?
Phil, that I'm just agreeing with you.
Okay,
I'm agreeing
fine.
with
Okay. If anybody, I can't read I don't have time to read the comments.
All the
comments.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, I thought, okay, is you can ask questions, okay, but if anybody has any comments and you would like me to comment about their comment, throw it in there as well.
Oh.
Okay.
We'll do. We are, that's a twist in there.
Yes.
I like that.
All right, maybe we'll come back to the comments section after. Let's do questions first.
Okay, let's do questions first. So our first question is from Kafovalu, and Kafovalu would like to know, we came here in September of 93. My daughter was 3 years old at the time. She is now 27. I went to immigration and asked if they had her I-94, and they said that they can't find it. So how can I get her I-94 now? We still want to file for her green card.
She's 3 and now 27?
So they moved here when she was 3 in 1993. She is now 27.
Okay, so you can do an I-102, which is an application for placement I-94. You can do a Freedom of Information Act request to the USCIS. You can do what's called the Customs and Border Patrol FOIA to Customs and Border Patrol and ask them to look at the airport where she came in, if you know the airplane she came in on and everything else. You can do that as well. There's lots of ways to do it. They just need to come in, and we'll be happy to help them find it. We find people's I-94s all the time. It begs the question, what happened to it, and why didn't you do anything from 3 to 27? And she's probably in DACA, and now maybe losing her DACA as of March 5th. But certainly, we can certainly help.
DACA was also my first thought. Like, why aren't you protected?
Right.
Antonio says, I'm hoping that you can help me. My father was a World War II veteran, but he passed away. I read one immigration law one time that for the sons and daughters of veterans, there is some sort of parole in place available. Can I access those privileges that go with this immigration law?
Not because your father. You don't get parole in place because your father was.
It's only pure in it?
No, it's if you're married. You have to be an immediate relative to get the parole in place. So the immediate relative is marriage to a U.S. citizen, parent of a U.S. citizen over the age of 21, child of a U.S. citizen under the age of 21. I would guess that somebody whose father is a World War II veteran is over the age of 21. That would be my guess.
I would say that's a very safe assumption on your part, Brad. Detective Brad on the case once again.
All right, what else?
We've got Carlos on YouTube who says, my sister's an American citizen and she wants to adopt my daughter here in the Dominican Republic. What does she need to do?
She wants to adopt daughter in Dominican Republic. First of all, to adopt a daughter, you don't go to the Dominican Republic to do the adoption. You will never get the child here. Number two, you got to prove that the child is an orphan, no mother, no father. So we got to find out what happened to the mother, what happened to the father. Did they abandon? Did they, are they alive? Are they dead? Are they neglecting this child? What's going on? And then if the parents are alive, you got to strip the parents of their parental rights in the Dominican Republic to orphan the child, do a social worker evaluation here, do a pre-adoption here in the United States, bring the child up to do adoption here. It's a process, but that's why I'm here. Don't go to the Dominican Republic and adopt. You'll never get her here.
Carlette says, I asked you a question last week, and I think I need to give you some more clarification. I had asked if I filed for my daughter, who's 17, does she automatically become a citizen, even though she's living in Jamaica and I'm a citizen? So mom is a citizen. If she goes ahead and files for her daughter, does she automatically become a citizen, even though daughter's in Jamaica?
No, the daughter has to be living in the United States with the mother as a permanent resident in her legal and physical custody. You're not living in the United States as a permanent resident if you're living in Jamaica.
We've got Ma Dukes, who's asking her a question for a friend. She says, if my friend came to the U.S. on a visitor's visa from Jamaica, got married within 2 months, which is wrong, what can be done to correct it before filing the forms with USCIS?
You can't undo the marriage.
Right.
So you're going to file the forms, hope for the best, file a waiver, and the worst. Come see me first.
We've got Tony who says, if someone got deported for domestic violence, is there any chance for re-entry to the United States?
Yes.
I had a 1-year suspended sentence in 1992.
Yes. Yes. You need a family member to sponsor you, but yes.
Theodon says, my friend filed in November of 2017 and already did the 2 fingerprints. How long until work permits arrive?
It's supposed to be 90 days, but it's taking as much as 4 or 5 months now.
Becky says, I've got a question. Can immigration deport a person while in the process of getting residency after you've already received your work permit?
Yes. You can get deported up to the day you become a citizen, Kim. Not saying that they'll be successful doing it, but the answer is can. Yes, it is possible for anyone to be deported up until the day you become a U.S. citizen.
And I know that's why you talk all the time about how even if you have a green card, the process does not stop here.
Correct. Go become a citizen. Exactly.
Yeah.
And in most countries, it's dual citizenship, so you don't have anything to lose. I know a few countries that are not dual, like Japan's not dual.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you actually told me that when I first got here. I didn't realize that I could have dual citizenship, and then you said, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely right. So you are a dual citizen between Belgium and the United States.
I am indeed. And I still, in Belgium, they force you to vote. Like every person over the age of 18 has to vote.
So you vote and you have no idea who you're voting for.
They mail me a ballot, bless their hearts.
And you're like, I don't know.
I call my siblings who are all still there, and I'm like,
who should I vote? It's like when you go into the voting, right? Like those people, who are U.S. citizens who are watching, when you go in the voting booth and you're going down the line, okay, president, senator, congressman, and then you get down to like your local official, like you have no idea who these people are, and then you just start randomly like, I don't know, Democrat, I have no idea. Right.
Oh, George, yeah. I knew a guy in high school named
George. Maybe that's him. All right, I'll vote for him. That's how it works.
Yeah, I've been trying to do better with local, but I'm still not very good at it. I'm still, no.
Ma Dukes has a question. I just saw it come across on Facebook. She wants to know, when do you file? You basically, what's going to happen is you're going to go to your interview, okay, and then the presumption goes to you to explain why it was not your intention to get married when you came into the airport. And if they believe that, then you don't need a waiver. And if they don't believe it, which most likely they won't under the law, then you need to do a waiver, and you do the waiver after the denial, not before.
LaCoy wants to know, my wife overstayed her stay after we got married. She was detained but is out on bond right now. I filed the I-130 and she's got a court date in April. Do I need to wait until after the court date to file the I-485?
Yes, and you need a lawyer to help you with all this stuff. You can't just go to court without a lawyer and then just say, I'll be filing an I-485. That's not going to work out very well for you.
Right, and he's actually got a follow-up. He said, do I file the I-130 with the I-485 for my stepson? My stepson's 10 years old.
Yes, if he's not in removal, yes.
If the mom is in removal, would the stepson automatically be in removal? Since it's her son?
No.
That was really more of a me question.
I know that. I realized that. You just popped in your head. I got it.
It does. Yes, sometimes I need to follow up my own immigration knowledge. Jerome says his dad filed for a friend of his, but the dad passed away. Can the aunts take over the filing?
Yes. How many? We have a lot of questions still. The answer is yes. You need a humanitarian waiver. So let's do this. Let's do 4 or 5 more questions, okay? And then we have a bunch of people who have been on hold for a while, and then we're going to come back to more of questions and comments from you on our Facebook and YouTube page. How's that? All right.
That sounds delightful. Okay. Fatal Ronald. I was going to say Fat Ronald.
Fat Ronald?
Fatal Ronald.
Fat Ronald sounds better, but fatal, okay.
I know.
I'd rather
right?
talk to Fat Ronald than Fatal Ronald between me and you.
Fatal
But, all right, but maybe Fatal Ronald's a good guy. Let's see. Maybe it's not Fetal Ronald. It's Fatal.
It's definitely fatal. Fetal
okay.
Ronald.
Fatal
sounds aggressive, but fetal would be weird.
That's weird. Like unborn baby Ronald has a question.
In the womb, Ronald.
Yeah.
My mother is a citizen and I'm married. How long is it going to take for me to get my green card through my mom?
14, 12, 13, 15. Somewhere between 12 and 15 years. A long, long time. Yeah.
Jerome, we've got Mikhail who says, my mom's a U.S. citizen. I'm married. I'm currently in Jamaica. She wants to file for me. Is it best for me to come to the States before she starts the filing, or do I stay put in Jamaica for 13 years?
Stay put. Because you come to the States, you're going to be illegal. It's not a pleasant experience to be illegal in the United States of Donald Trump these days.
I was just about to say, particularly in this climate.
Correct.
I'm going to squeeze one more in before we get back to the calls. But Chef wants to know, do we have to come to you, Brad, or can we work over the phone?
You can work over the phone.
Absolutely.
Let's find Belgium Kim. Let's see what comments are in the comment section. The questions in the question section. And let's see what answers I have in my brain. All right?
That's a lot. That's a lot of things to go.
That's a lot of things, yes.
You want a comment first, or you want a question first? Pick a number.
I'm just looking here. Jeff Bossigo, The Brad Show sounds like an old TV show. Yes, from the 1950s. I followed. Yes, coming up, coming up, Dick Cavett, followed by The Brad Show. All right, what's going on? I got to get comfortable here for this. All right, let's go.
You know, Theodon, one of our really funny conversations that was happening was that Theodon voted, and a few people have done this, voted for Tamika Nelson to be your new co-host.
Really?
She's already the president of the Brad Show fan
She
club.
is the star of the Bradified Marriage segment, by far. Nothing against Kevin, all right, because I love Kevin, okay?
You do love
but Tamika stole the show in that segment.
Yes, she did.
She just took the house down on that one.
She was rocking.
And by the way, we have a whole bunch of requests. Cordella Willery is requested.
Cordella Willery nominated herself. It's different that other people nominated Tamika.
It's much better when you get nominated by other people. Okay, what else? All right, put her in the hopper, Jill. Tamika Nelson. Maybe she'll be the co-host. Stick her out on the street with a microphone. See how she does.
Exactly.
All right. What else we got?
So we've got Christine who actually has a question, and she wants to know, is it possible to travel during the process of doing my citizenship, to travel out of the country?
Yeah, just don't stay out for more than like a month or so.
Joy wonders, her husband filed a separate I-130 for her son. He is 16 years old, and herself when the husband was a green card holder. Since he has been naturalized and the son is 18 years old, does he now need to file a separate I-485?
Yes.
What are the procedures to do so?
File an adjustment for the son and a separate adjustment for the wife.
Matthias says, I received an RFIE for my I-485 and agreed to go with the joint sponsor option. Okay. She's married, and for her recent tax year, she filed jointly with her husband.
All right, let's stop. Let's stop there so I can tell everybody what you're talking about.
Thank you.
She filed an adjustment application. She got what's called an RFE, which is a request for further evidence. He said, whoever your sponsor is doesn't make enough money. Please give a second affidavit of support, which she said she gladly did. Now let's continue.
Right.
Okay.
So I've got everything I need to submit and wanted to be sure that if an I-864A is required or just the I-864 that was requested on the request for further evidence.
So let's interpret there now. So the I-864, because we're throwing numbers out like, and acronyms out all over the place, all right? So the I-864 is the affidavit of support. The I-864A is the affidavit of support that is signed by other people in the household if you're combining household income. So if this affidavit of support is being given by somebody else who lives in the same house as you and the petitioner, then you do the I-864A. If this person lives across the street from you, in another city, down the block, in the apartment upstairs, you can hit with the broom, shut up already, whatever it is, but they're not living in the same home as you, then it's a separate I-864.
Got it.
Did anybody ever like hit a broom
over someone's head?
Yeah, I did that once. No, just on the. No, I didn't hit anybody on the road. When I was in law school, this was so annoying. There was a woman. I'm trying to study for. I'll never forget this. There was a woman. It's a true story. She was a flautist. You know, she would do
the flute.
What is the? You know, when you blow in here and it's a long.
Yeah, isn't that a piccolo? It's a piccolo.
Whatever she was. And and I'm studying for the bar exam. All right, and all day long, I would hear do 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 do. You know, she just played the scales up and down. And that's my only recollection.
That's all she played?
All she played. And I would sit there and bang. I had a broom and I would bang. Hey, shut up! I'm trying to study. So all day long, she's going do 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 do, and I'm like bang bang bang. All right, whatever. All right, dumb story. It just reminded me of that when I said that because I did that like 25 years ago. All right, continue. I have no idea why I just even mentioned that. That was completely ridiculous. Let's continue.
It's a deep, intimate knowledge inside your younger.
Exactly.
We've got Arlene, who is 41 years old.
Okay.
And she recently met a man who was 33 years old.
Ooh, 32-year difference.
32
years difference.
What she's worried about, the question as she wrote it was, is she going to have a problem to marry him? I don't think that's her real question.
Is she going to have a problem to marry him? Well,
yes.
I mean, you can marry anybody you want, okay? You know, is she asking, is this the right man for her? Well, you know, he's 33 years difference, right? There's a big age difference there. But maybe we'd have to get them on and do some marriage counseling and see. But the real question I think she's asking is, what about immigration?
Right. I think you're right.
I assume that is the question. And the answer is, as long as it's a bona fide marriage, they will certainly question you. They're going to separate you in 2 different rooms. They're going to certainly question you. But yeah, there are people who are married who are 33 years apart.
We've got Cicely who wants to know, can someone who got into a fight in 1997 in the park file for his citizenship? Is this the same Cicely that called?
I believe, yes, it's the same Cicely that called. And it depends on what the result of that fight was. She said he pled guilty, but we don't know what he pled guilty to.
To or why? Right. Yeah. We've got a ton of questions on YouTube, so I'm going to plow through those really.
Let's plow.
Steven says, can my mom who's a U.S. citizen file for her unmarried son over 21?
Yes.
Who is me? He is
Why not?
So what
waiver? There's no way. If you're here in the United States, your mom's going to file an I-130. You're going to wait 6-7 years. You're going to do a provisional waiver in 6-7 years. Go home and come back. That's what the law is today. Ask me what the law will be in 6 years from now. I have no idea. So right now, the only thing that mom has to do is file an I-130. You worry about it down the line.
So he's got a bit of a follow-up. He says, what waiver can I file under 245I? Because my E-2 visa expired in December of 99. And then I filed at the time an I-601 or 601A. He's 33 now and currently covered by DACA. Does that change anything?
An I-601, somebody tried to adopt him? An orphan?
In 1999?
I don't know. He would. We need to know more information. Come back to us.
Yeah.
Okay. An I-600, by the way, an I-600 is the adoption. I-601 is the waiver application. 245I is the grandfathering that if you had an approved case before April 30th, 2001. I'm not sure what he's asking.
I gotcha.
Okay.
We've got Kirk who wants to know, how long does it take to get my wife here? I'm a green card holder.
1.5 to 2 years, closer to 1.5 years if you do it right.
Sebastian, which I love because that's one of my brother's names. So Sebastian has.
So I'll give him a really good answer.
Oh, good. Yeah. Only the ones with people with names that are like our siblings.
Yes. Sebastian from Belgium would like to know. My sister's a U.S. citizen, works at a law office. She asks questions on a social media platform. How long will it take for her to sponsor me?
Years, big bro.
Yes,
a friend has a 10-year visa and came to the U.S. to give birth twice and now has decided to relocate to the U.S. permanently.
Sebastian, you can't come to the United States on a visitor's visa to give birth. That's fraud. You just called out your friend for fraud. Why would you do that, Sebastian? You can't. There's no such thing as visitor's visa equals baby making visa. Okay, doesn't work that way. If the government knows that you came on a visitor's visa and gave birth, they're not letting you into the United States of America on that visitor's visa. Let's continue the question now.
So now that she's permanently decided to relocate here, she wants to come here with her children, based on her 10-year visa. I think you already answered the question, which was, did she make the right move?
Belgium Kim. Hello again.
Hello, I'm back.
All right, what else we got?
So we've got Martina, who says, my grandmother filed for my mother and added us 3 children on it. How long is that going to take? That's all the information we got.
Grandma filed for your mom, assuming mom's over 21 and mom is single and grandma's a citizen 7-8 years. But once you turn 21, you may fall off. So I don't know how old this person is. If you're talking to a 10-year-old, they may still get their green card. But if you're talking to a 19-year-old, they may not. So I don't know.
Martina would be an incredibly savvy 10-year-old. She's
savvy 10-year-old, right? Watching an immigration show with a middle-aged man with perfect English.
And she's like, I got a question for this.
Yes. Right. So I think Martina's got to start rethinking because probably she's older and is going to fall off. That's my guess.
We've got Natalie on YouTube who says, do I need to submit a lease and a joint account when I'm initially filing my I-485? And I'm still attending college in a different state where I stay and travel back and forth. Is that going to affect my I-485 application?
No and yes. No, you don't have to submit a lease when you file your I-485. All of that would be done at the interview. However, the answer to your question is that you have to prove it is a bona fide marriage between you and your spouse. How do you prove a bona fide marriage? 2 ways that the government looks at a bona fide marriage. Do you live together? Do you share the same home? And number 2, do you have the same financial obligations? Do you pile your money together and pay the debts of the marriage out of that money? That means joint bank accounts, joint tax returns, joint credit cards, and then paying the bills from those joint accounts. So the fact that you go and live in another state is problematic. How you do your finances, I don't even know yet. Okay, but I am going to tell you as soon as you walk in. So people say, are you telling me, Brad, that if I go to school in another state, I can't get a green card? That's not a real marriage? And I'm saying to you, there are plenty of people out there, and there's absolutely a real marriage. But what I'm saying to you is that the immigration officers are like the horses in Central Park. They got blinders on. Okay? Now, I'm not calling them a horse, but they got blinders on. You ever see those horses? You know, they don't see anywhere. Yes. They got blinders on. Peripheral. No peripheral. It's like this. Yeah. So they see person after person. You know, think about it. They see 10, 20. They're like robots there already. All right? So you got to fit into their profile if you want to get through. Okay? You can't make them think outside of their blinders, because if you make them think outside of their blinders, most likely they're going to be like, I have no idea, you're denied. Okay? Live together, have the same financial obligations, you get a green card. Simple as that. Anything else is rolling the dice.
Tamika wants to know, I'm asking for a friend of mine.
Is this my new co-host?
This is your new co-host, Tamika Nelson.
Yes.
Future co-host of the Brad Show, says
soon to be renamed the Tamika Nelson Show.
The Brad
Tamika
show.
Right. The Tamika show featuring Brad.
With special guest Brad Bernstein.
Right.
Tamika wants to know, a friend of hers put in her papers last April. The friend is being filed for by her U.S. citizen husband. She put in last April. How long before she can expect an interview?
Should be any moment. 9-10 months.
Christine says, is there any possible way you can help me get my 30-year-old son's filing put in? I just filed for my own citizenship.
Yes. Why not?
We've got... What? Of course he can help you.
Why not? This is what I do for a living.
Brad is the guy to help you. If you go to anyone...
Guy.
You're steering yourself wrong.
I'm the guy. The guy. D-A-G-U-I. The guy.
The guy.
Yes.
Joan wants to know, I just got my green card. I've got 2 sons in Jamaica that are 16 and 18. Can I go ahead and start filing for them?
Yes.
Marie says, I'm a Jamaican and I live in Curacao. I was married, but not anymore, and I'd like to take a trip to the U.S. just to visit. What can I do to get a visa?
Go to the U.S. Embassy. If Curacao, I don't think there's a U.S. Embassy there. I think you would have to go to Barbados. I think that's who covers Curacao, but I could be wrong, but I believe so. Go to Barbados or whatever U.S. Embassy Curacao is covered by, and prove you have enough ties back to Curacao that you're not going to overstay your time. Believe it or not, the best, and another thing is you got to show you're leaving America, okay? So everyone always like, oh, I'm going to get my friend to write a thing that I'm going to stay with them. Well, now, guess what? You're staying with your friend. Your friend is never throwing you out of their house. It's actually better to show up with a hotel reservation. Hilton will throw you out at the end of the reservation. Okay, your friend won't.
Xavier says, I've got a friend that has a kid in Jamaica, but when he was filing for his citizenship, he did not claim the child in Jamaica. Can he go back and file for the child now?
Well, that's a problem. Why didn't he claim? There's a fraud here somewhere. What's that issue? He would need to come and speak to us about it.
Marky wants to know, is it safe to travel a domestic flight with a work permit or a state ID? I'm still waiting on my green card interview in Miami, and my U.S. citizen husband is filing for me.
Yeah, you can travel with your work permit. And I would just show you state ID.
And her priority date is February of 2017. How much longer does she need to wait for an interview?
She should be getting it already. It's been a year. She should be calling me.
LaCoy asked this question earlier, but did not hear your answer. He said he's got his stepson who's currently in Jamaica. He's 10 years old. Can he go ahead and file the I-130 and the I-485 together, or just one?
File the I-1. There's no I-45 if your stepson's in Jamaica. You're just filing the I-130. The I-45 is if he's here.
Asset would like to know, my friend has filed for her husband, but he's been denied because of a charge he had about 20 years ago in Jamaica. Is there anything that can be done for her husband to join her here in the U.S.?
Yeah, maybe he's eligible for a waiver. I just got to know what the charge was for.
Kimmy Kim says, can a green card... I do love me a Kimmy Kim. Kimmy Kim said, can a green card holder married to someone get a green card?
Yes. Basically, can a spouse, permanent resident file for a spouse? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Right.
By the way, I don't know if I told you this, in the waiting room the other day as I was walking through the office. You
asked for an autograph.
No.
You asked someone to take a picture.
Was the day, though. Let me tell you, I will never be the same.
Right.
No, somebody literally, all I heard behind me was, Kimmy Kim Kim.
Kimmy Kim. I stopped saying that. I got to start saying that. I love calling you Kimmy Kim.
You do. Yeah. So we've got Casey who says, when a U.S. citizen filed for their child over 21, do you count the years from the priority date or from the date you filed as to determine when you're going to get through?
A U.S. citizen files for a child under 21?
Over 21.
Oh, it's the date in which the application is received is the priority date.
Regina says, how can I present my emotional abuse when I go to my green card interview? So I'm assuming her husband is not going to be there.
It has to be presented before your interview. And then they will ask you questions about the evidence that you presented. So if you're now presenting it right at the interview, you have a problem. You breaking down into tears about what your husband did at the interview without documenting what this emotional abuse previously is just you breaking down in tears. Okay? The interview is just about your credibility, not about presenting initial evidence.
Xavier had a follow-up when there was about his friend.
The 10-year-old?
No. About he was the one asking about his friend who hadn't claimed his child, who's in Jamaica,
right. Okay,
and now
so what was the problem? Okay, yeah. So let's hear why he did this.
He thinks that the reason that he didn't put a child on there is because he did not want his wife to know at the time that he had a kid in Jamaica.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's going to be a problem. Yeah. We've got Christina who says, if your kids get their citizenship through their parents, can they already file? If your kids get their citizenship,
while you are figuring out that question, I just want to say a big hello. I just saw Myola joined us, one of our paralegals. A big hello to Myola.
We love Myola.
You know who Myola loves the most in the office?
Who?
Lucky and T-Bone. All right. She never asks. She never asks how I'm doing. She only asks, "How's Lucky and T-Bone?" Oh, Lucky dogs are good. Thanks. All right, let's continue.
We've got Tanisha, who says, my son's priority date is October 3rd of 2017. He's 15 and he's in Jamaica, and my husband already filed for him. When should we expect to get a response from USCIS?
Is the husband a citizen or a resident? Assuming the husband's a citizen, you should be getting a response by late spring, and he should be here by the end of the year.
Jacqueline wants to know, I filed for my mom. How soon can she file for her 2 kids aged 36 and 34?
The day she gets here with a green card, provided they're single.
I want to say Eunice, but I think Eunice, I'm not sure. I butchered the name. I'm sorry. Mr. or Mrs. Kitson. I've got a friend who's accused of shoplifting. He wasn't convicted. The case got dismissed by the court, and he got a disposition letter from the court. This happened back in 2012. Can he go ahead and file for his citizenship?
It has to be 5 years from the date of the dismissal. So we're in 2018 now. That was 2012, so 5 years is 2017. I was about to say what month, and I forgot we're in 2018 already. Time flies. Time flies. So the answer is yes.
I have not yet started writing 2018.
I'm still writing. I wrote 2017 on a check I wrote today. So and we're almost in March already, you know.
We need to do better, Brad.
Exactly.
We need to do better.
I know.
And then finally, Jeff wanted to call attention to the fact that Mr. Bosie is no longer just a baby profile picture. He has changed it to a grown man profile picture.
Baby man.
It's a baby man.
Or is it a baby man? No, you're a man baby. No, I guess baby man, right? Or a man baby.
Well, he technically is the baby man since he's the father of the adorable baby.
Right. But he's a man baby.
He's kind of a man baby.
Yeah, he's a bit of a man baby, but we love him anyway. I'm surprised he hasn't been nominated to be co-host. I thought he would have been nominated already also.
You know what? He got nominated last week.
Oh, he did?
Late last week, a couple people nominated Jeff. Yeah. He's been cracking people up in the comments today because he is suggesting that the woman, the 41-year-old who...
Marrying the 73-year-old?
Marrying the 73, she's really just doing it to get his AARP benefits.
Well, she's only 9 years away, by the way, from AARP. Right. By the way, I'm 49 years old right now. My birthday, the AARP is going to be sending me the magazine. You know, that's going to freak me out.
Like a month before your birthday, you're already going to
I'm going to start being like, you want to become a member? I'm like, no, I do not want to become a member of that.
How dare you?
How dare you? No. All right, thank you. We got about 1 or 2 questions we can fit in here, Kim. So let's see if we can speak to 1 or 2 people before we end the show. How's that?
That sounds great. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, Kim. Thanks. Great job.